Make it make sense. Could somebody please make it make sense?
Big Mims.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Oh, yes, I did.
Holla brings me so much joy. Okay, guys, the internet is undefeated. First off, I'm like a few subscribers away from 21,000. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm bringing you guys daily and consistent content. And today, y'all, we got to go deep. Sometimes we're funny. Sometimes we're deep. We kind of have to go deep now. Since Charisse came at Karen with the rehab, if you watch Potomac, you know that at a major fight in the show, the allegations just came out that Karen had gone to rehab and then fled rehab to go partying in Miami. This all came from Charisse. And for me personally, I thought it was a low blow. Now, I need to say this before we get into it. I don't think Karen is above reproach. The Sing Sing comments, all of these people on Potomac, for the most part, say low blows to each other. So in all fairness, low blows have been thrown in all directions. I must say that because in the comment sections, which I do read, a lot of people were saying, well, why is it that Karen can do it and other people can't do it? I think that certain things should be off limits. Rehab, whether somebody went, because alcoholism, in my opinion, is a disease. That's their business. If they want to talk about it, let them talk about it. But now, one of my subscribers sent me some clips of Charisse admitting why she sold her soul. So we're going to share that, and then we're going to kind of dive deep, and we're going to look at how this kind of plays into her Potomac storyline, actual story arc. It's y'all, we're going deep today. Like the video, we're going very, very deep. So not only did she say that about Karen on the show, she also said that about Karen via a tweet. She says, and these are things we're going to point out. She can keep wishing my coins would go away. That's one. And then the real reality is Karen Huger is still one of the local drunks of Potomac. Instead of thinking about me, she should be thinking about going back to rehab and redo the program that she never completed many years ago. So this was Charisse on Iyanla. Let me show you guys.
What are you holding on to?
I sold my soul.
Yes. Let it come out. Let that come all the way out. Let's tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
So, little background. This was when Charisse was off the show, and Iyanla was doing a lot of shows with like fallen reality stars or people who were no longer on TV. So the thought is either she really needed this help or she was doing this for added publicity because she missed being on television. You guys can decide why she did the show, but I think this moment was real.
The truth. I sold my soul for what? How about a house, a car, a vacation? What did you sell your soul for?
I sold my soul to have a life that I wanted, that I never had.
Yeah. A material.
So she sold her soul for money, basically.
Real life. Yeah. Let that come out. Come on, you're doing so good. Let it come all the way out. Good. Yeah, let it come out. This is a major breakthrough for Miss Charisse.
So she sold her soul for money, but I told you we would come back to this. In her read, she's still talking about, and she can keep wishing my coins would go away. there's still something internal there. And we'll get into her story arc, but let's continue.
Recognizing that she gave up any chance at internal happiness in order to get external validation, and that is never the answer. But today, she can choose to be different.
Like, some people say Iyanla gets it wrong. Just from what I'm seeing, this was the nail on the head. Did I say that right? Okay. So let's continue. So that wasn't the only one that I thought was interesting.
What have you been focused on? Your experience or your identity?
Unfortunately, probably my experience and not my identity.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go deep. Even in her reads, now Karen had called her a dusty beat right before this, but if you guys remember,
I spend more on this boat than your net worth, and
it's a consistent theme. It seems as though her entire identity is built around her having money and being a socialite. And where does that leave her now that Eddie is no longer a working coach? I think they said he was let go from Rutgers around 2016, and he has a net worth currently of about 8 million, right? But if you really dissect that, 8 million is not a lot for people like Charisse who spend a lot of money on material. Like the champagne room alone was probably $100,000 or more. Beautiful room, you know. Charisse definitely brought lifestyle to Potomac, because at that point there really wasn't anybody living like her on the cast. But Eddie doesn't have the money to continue to do that. If his net worth is 8 million, and let's say he had to split that, then you have taxes, then you have to live for the rest of your life. For people who live at this level, it's not a lot of money. But let's continue.
Yeah. So what happens is that experience just grows and grows and grows and grows and keeps you what?
In the same place.
That's called stuck.
So what unfortunately happens sometimes on these shows, if you read somebody, it's a boomerang effect. Sometimes those reads will take, but typically if you end up reading a fan favorite, things like this happen. Everybody on the internet is sharing these things where they say this is Charisse. For me personally, I think that Charisse is a pretty lady. It's one of those effects. Once you go low, it doesn't matter if the other person has also gone low. If the person is a fan fave, their fans are going to attack. Shout out to my subscribers. One sent me this morning. I told her I would definitely include this in the video. They are really going at Charisse. And I think that, like I said, I think Charisse is a pretty lady. I just, at the root of it, it doesn't feel like the Iyanla stuff has helped because she still identifies with money and clout. And going up against Karen, who, you know, didn't necessarily have a lot of money at the beginning and has definitely had a glow up, I don't think that this is going to work in the manner that Charisse thought it was going to work. So I want to know in the comment section, do you feel like Charisse, she said it, sold her soul for money? And do you think that she's still living in that moment now? Because we haven't actually seen lifestyle things from her anymore. We know she didn't have the money from the show, and her and Eddie's divorce was finalized years ago. So she's having to live off the money that they had. I know they sold their home, so that was a marital home, so they probably went to have, but I don't think that she has the money that she used to have. And where does that leave her in if her self-worth was built around her net worth? This one is deep. We'll see if this comes out at the reunion. They're filming it this week. And I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Are people being too hard on Charisse? I'm choosing to give her the benefit of the doubt about Karen going to Karen's mother's funeral, because I would hate for somebody to go and show their respects in order to get back on a show. I would hate for that to be true. I don't know the ins and outs of Karen and Charisse. I want to hear from you guys. Like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about this? Because this one was a deep one. And like I said, sometimes we're funny, sometimes we go deep. And this one was a deep one. I will see you guys for the next one. And I did not forget about my James Earl Jones video. Maybe I'll do that one after work. Have a good one.